the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, December 1st. This is your Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook live show. I am James Grande. I am joined by Keith Eister today. You can follow Keith on X, actually Twitter. Twitter at EYS819DFS. Keith, happy Monday. Happy December 1st. What's going on, dude?
Happy Monday. Happy December. As we get older here, these years, they keep getting shorter and shorter, it feels like. We did the calendar not too long ago. Feels like football started about yesterday, and now the basketball season, like we're going to be at Christmas before no time. Then it's the All-Star break of the NBA. Like it's just crazy how these days.
Are you a Christmas music enjoyer?
No, sir.
No. Absolutely anti-Christmas music, huh?
Okay. Yes, I mean, people turn it on too early. It's okay for like a day or two, but then it gets to me.
What's too early? Is it pre-Thanksgiving? Post-Thanksgiving okay? This is a hot topic right now.
Post-Thanksgiving is fine. Anything before Thanksgiving, you're insane.
I have my wife and I and my family, we started a tradition. We get the Christmas tree after Thanksgiving. So like whenever, like that Saturday after Thanksgiving, we go out and we get the Christmas tree. So I'm good right over there. I got my Christmas tree set up. We got, I like shout out to my grandfather, but Frank Sinatra, I always have the Frank Sinatra Christmas playlist blasting that I've forced my family into. But yeah, enough about Christmas music, but it is December. So
you're well within the window now. Like you're totally fine now.
Okay, in the window. Thank you for the approval. I will continue on my and then my wife will, sprinkle in her Michael Bublé obsession as well. So we all get what we want at the end. And what everyone else wants here is for us to break down this 6-game NBA DFS slate here on DraftKings. Cujo is in the chat. Jeff is in the chat. Julian's in the chat. Torrin Edwards in the chat. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. And Warren just says, hey, per usual. That's the Warren exclusive before he dives into trolling me for the rest of the show. Keith, 6 games, 9 over on old FanDuel. A lot of news broke throughout the day, like endless amounts of news, basically from start to finish. Any overarching thoughts about the slate before we get into our positional breakdown?
I think we have most of the news now. We early, but I think we should be pretty smooth sailing here. I think Jaquez is still questionable, but that's about the biggest name that's still left. I mean, Kobe White's doubtful. He's been downgraded all day. So like he's out.
Yep.
But yeah, should have most of the news. Good value, good stars. It's a nice little 6-game slate. Like sometimes 6 games, it's tough to get what you want to do in your lineups, but I think we've got a little bit of everything here. Shouldn't be too difficult. Lots of options though is the one thing.
Shouldn't be too difficult is how you ended that.
Yeah, that was probably, we have a lot of options. Let's put it that way. Is that a better way to say that?
Yeah, I like that. I like that one better. It's the NBA, Keith. Just when you think nothing's difficult, Atlanta's like, oh man, actually we played 2 overtimes last night and then had to travel to Detroit. Let's actually rest everybody, So we got a lot to get into. 6 games, as you mentioned. You were basically right. We did get a lot of the news. Doesn't look like Kobe White's going to play. I think Jaquez does play. He had gone through practice yesterday, and they said he was hopeful that he would play. So before we do, thank you to everyone in the chat that's popped in since then. Vic, evening, gents. He's always trying to win the million. P. Wayne in the chat. What's up, FA Nation? Torrent, awesome. I'm happy that I did pronounce it correctly there. And then Des says blessings to us, and let's get it. Let's get it indeed. If you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We do this 5 times a week at 5 p.m. And we have the pre-show coming out the night before, first look of the daily slate. And we go position by position. So let's start at point guard here. a loaded point guard position here. Loaded. And yes, the Prince, FanDuel does always have every game. DraftKings, we've talked about this enough. I wish it did. We're just kind of doing what the product gives us, right? You can't force DraftKings to give us 9 slates 9 if they don't want to. But I do think DraftKings is better anyway. So if you want to hop over to the DraftKings streets, we are here. But FanDuel, there's a breakdown at fantasyalarm.com with the playbook right now that includes a bunch of FanDuel players as well. From yours truly today. Keith, let's get into it. Up at the top, point guard, Cade Cunningham, James Harden, Josh Giddey. We'll cut it off there. Very intriguing tier. Cade gets the tired Hawks coming into his gym. Harden in a great pace-up spot, and Josh Giddey likely playing without Kobe White. How do you assess this top tier point guard?
Yeah, so I imagine this is why you were pushing back on it shouldn't be too difficult situation, especially as you a one lineup player trying to decide which of these guys to play is really difficult on this slate. There's a lot of great options. There's a lot of dudes who are playing some great basketball. Cade Cunningham is among the best. Like, he has to be in the MVP conversation at this point. He's kind of taking that SGA step that we saw a couple years ago. He's not even shooting the ball that well. And he's averaging a career high in points. He's getting to the free throw line way more than he has been. Like, the ceiling on this dude is just insane. He's live for 40 actual points every time he takes the floor. Cade's a guy that I want to play a lot of. It's easy to get to him, but you have to sacrifice a lot of other really good plays. Harden and Giddey are right there among him. Harden is another guy that has just been absolutely smashing. Couple of real big games on his log there. Kawhi back, he's still just putting up 50 a night, so it's hard to say no to that. We've seen the 70-point ceiling. There's an 80 in the game log there. Harden's been awesome. And we know Giddey can triple-double anytime he's on the floor. He's had a 30% usage rate without Kobe White this year. I don't know how you pick between these guys, man. If you forced me to rank them and said I'm kicking you off the show if you don't rank them, I'd probably go Harden, Cade, Giddey. But man, it's any of the three could smash.
I would probably rank them the same. That's also how the field is currently playing them as well. Harden is the highest rostered, followed by Cade, followed by Giddey. The Giddey is significantly lower owned. He has a tough spot compared to the other two. That is for sure. When Orlando has Jalen Suggs, things are just different for them. That is, and Anthony Black, who's a 6'7" guard, right? I am in on all three. I'd probably rank them the same as you. QT Sniper does bring up a good point. I believe James Harden does not partake as much as I'm pretty sure in that canceled show, because Netflix already canceled that show. He talked they have his girlfriend on it now. So I'm pretty sure Harden's been refraining from extracurricular activities, and he ball his life, as you can tell, because he's playing extremely well. Can't really blame him for his team's downfall, but it is a good point. I did want to point out Carson Steele, subscriber to the YouTube channel, never tried NBA DFS. Well, you're in the right place. Tonight's the night, Carson, where you're going to never look back. NBA DFS for the rest of your life. And you're going to become like Carson Steele. I think he's a running back. So you're going to become who's someone random we can go with? Because Carson Steele is obviously super random. Who's the first random player you can think of?
Current random player?
Andrea Bargnani. That's who I just thought of.
Okay. That's way more random than I would have guessed.
We're never looking back. Look up Andrea Bargnani, former number 1 overall pick, and you'll love the game of basketball like we do.
It's nice to see people comment stuff like that, though, because we've been doing this so long that we don't even realize people are just finding DFS just now in the year 2025. So if we're talking way too advanced for you guys, please, by all means, ask us to explain what we're talking about, because I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'll be rambling on like everybody knows what this means, and they won't have an idea. So feel free to chime in for sure.
Yes, exactly what Keith just said. I love that point, Keith. So thank you for bringing that up too. Carson, if you have any questions, just ask, right? We're here for the next 50 minutes or so. I agree, Des. I kind of did stop the show until the likes got up. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's tremendous help to what we're doing here at Fantasy Alarm. Craig Porter fan club. We'll get to Craig Porter here in a second. Jordan is with Des. Wow, there's about to be a picket line to stop the show just to get people to start liking and subscribing. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. The Prince also a one lineup player. And of course, Warren says Micah Potter as his random player, because that is, shout out to the Utah Jazz legend, Micah Potter. I probably played him a couple too many times when he was in Utah. But don't know where Micah Potter is today, but hope he's doing well. Let's continue down the point guard list, since we've talked about 3 names on the show so far, Keith. I don't think in this next tier I get to anyone I like until Jalen Suggs. I don't know if you have a different opinion there. Suggs would probably be the next name that I personally have interest in. What about you?
Suggs is the guy that I'm going to have a significant amount of exposure to in 20 lineups.
Yeah.
I will have a sprinkle of Tyler Hero just in case we see that minutes bump. He's a guy that can fill it up. He's been shooting a ton, been shooting well, but he's only playing like 30 minutes at this point. If he gets up into that 34, 35 range, it's a great matchup. We don't think of the Clippers as a good matchup, but they've been atrocious defensively this season. It's part of their downfall. So it's a great spot for Hero. It's just the minutes are my only concern there. So he's deep GPP only.
Yeah, great spot for 3-point shooters against the Clippers. They allow the 4th best field goal percentage from 3, and they're top 5 in 3-point field goals against them as well. So great spot for Hero. Suggs is going to be popular. He should be popular. I have no real issue with any amount of exposure here. The usage is great. The fantasy points per minute are great. The matchup is super elite. My only thing is I am a little different on the Magic front today, and I'll explain that maybe in the next couple of positions. And maybe I'll even break out a voice or two. Who knows? Maybe I'm not feeling it today. No. But I think that there's a specific way to beat the Bulls, and Suggs is good at it, but there's 2 players on the Magic that are better. So we'll get to it in a few, but I have no objection to Suggs. He's going to be popular. He's a great play and all that. What about the next tier? Is there anything that you have interest in? McCollum is playing without Alex Sarr tonight. He gets a pretty sizable usage bump without Sarr. Nembhard, Indiana's getting healthier. We've seen the role kind of take a step back. Kevin Porter, pretty good role upon returning. We have Anthony Black, Trey Jones, Colin Sexton, Davion. What do we got in this like 5 and 6K tier?
I mean, CJ is the guy that we have to talk about. Last time he played without Sarr, he put 46 actual in the bucket.
Yeah.
It's only happened like 3 times this year where he's decided he's the usage guy.
It was no Keyshawn, just as a correction in that game. No Keyshawn. Sarr played in that game, but either way, it was one of their 2 highest usage players.
Yeah, and I don't know when that game's going to come, so it's really hard to get to him. I don't even know that I want to do it on this slate because it's not like he's 4% owned or something. He's going to catch a little bit of ownership, I think. If you're playing Giannis, who we're going to get to, who was absolutely smashing. I know you were on him in the last game.
19 minutes, dude. 19 minutes.
I think you want a run back for Washington to keep it close. CJ is a guy who could help keep Washington in this game. So if you have Giannis exposure, I think CJ is a nice play there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only guy I'd get to. Warren asks if we're going to talk Anthony Black. We'll talk about him at shooting guard because I like Anthony Black as well. I mean, it doesn't matter. Screw it. We can talk Anthony Black now. Really good role right now. Like elite role. 25% usage rate or better in 3 straight games for Anthony Black. He's just been great, dude.
the no Paulo Banchero effect, right? There's a 30% usage player off the floor. Somebody else has to shoot. And Anthony Black, he's had opportunities like this in the past and it still hasn't shot. Yep. It's really nice to see. He's playing the minutes. He's got all the rates. Everything looks good. I have nothing bad to say here.
Yeah, elite defender. I mean, again, 6'7" guard who can defend like 4 positions. He's a good luxury for the Magic to have. I have a little bit of interest in Trey Jones over a fantasy point per minute with the guys out that Chicago are missing, including Kobe, Jalen Smith, Isaac Okoro. I think 30 minutes is in the range of outcomes for Trey Jones. I was kind of waiting to see how the ownership between him and Ayo Dosunmu would shake out, because I figured Ayo would start and nobody would play Trey Jones. As of right now, no one's playing the Bulls in general. So I think Trey Jones is a little bit interesting in tournaments. He's been pretty good per minute this year. But I think the interest at this position lies in, outside of, Suggs in the top tier, basically, lies in the value range. We have TJ McConnell at $4,800, who has been nails night in, night out. He's been TJ McConnell. He's causing havoc every time he steps on the floor. We have Yegor Dioman playing a lot of minutes and having a blackout game where he just he did what? He scored how many? He took how many threes? So we have Yeoman at 4,400. We have the aforementioned Craig Porter at 3,900. Definitely a candidate to start tonight. We don't know. We basically can confirm 4 starters. I would say Porter and Naquan Tomlin are probably live to be the 5th, just depending on what direction Cleveland wants to go. And then you have Proctor kind of as the pivot off Porter. What say you about this value range? What intrigues you? What doesn't? I didn't mention Tyrese Martin. I saw him getting a little ownership lately as well. What say you about this value range?
Yeah, Jaeger is the one that obviously sticks out just because of what he did last game. I don't know if you're seeing that again.
Right.
Michael Porter Jr. is back. I believe he missed that game. Am I correct in that, or was he back?
No, he played on the 28th. Oh, no, he didn't play. He missed the last 2 games. You were right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Can you expect 18 shots again from Doman?
No, you can expect the minutes, but not, probably not the shots.
Yeah. So, I know he's really cheap. I just don't go out there expecting 40 fantasy points is kind of the point I'm making. I think he's going to be pretty popular too. So I don't have any problem with him because he's going to start and play the minutes. But if he's going to be 40% owned, I have a little problem with that. And I don't see quite that high right now. But sometimes these cheap guys end up getting steamed as we get closer to lock. So keep an eye on the ownership. As long as he's in that 20% range, I'm good with going over the field on him. McConnell, I think, is a really interesting case. We know he fills it up as soon as he gets out there. He shoots, he rebounds, he assists, he steals, he does it all. The problem is he does it all in 20 minutes. We did see 25 last game, 26 even maybe. It was 25 and a half, I believe. But there's a chance that he could play 18 minutes here. I don't think that'll happen. I mean, Indiana is kind of desperate, and he's a spark plug for them. So it makes sense for him to continue to play 22 to 25 minutes. But just know that there is risk that he could play 18 minutes in this spot.
I feel pretty good about his minutes because I know they had talked about him ramping up, and he after not popping on the injury report on that second leg of a back-to-back, I felt pretty good about his minutes moving forward.
And I agree with you. I wrote a betting article today, and TJ McConnell over 16.5 points and assists was one of my best bets of the day. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, especially because they've done this double guard lineup like Halliburton and Nembhard. It's not something new, Jarris Walker and Ben Shepherd are just going to get squeezed a little bit because they're winning. They're extending TJ, and they're competitive with TJ McConnell. So
it's an awesome matchup because Cleveland plays really, really fast. They're missing one of their better perimeter defenders in Darius Garland. And you just get those extra possessions. Even though Cleveland is a good defense, I still like playing guys against them because of the pace.
Yeah, 9th rated defense. It feels worse. Truthfully, I feel like they've been worse. What do you? I mean, Warren would be mad at us if we didn't bring up Craig Porter. What is your interest here at a $3,900 Craig Porter? He's not really getting any ownership as of right now. Naquan Tomlin is like the Cleveland value that is outside of, and we'll get to Tyson in a second. What do you think? Do you think Tomlin gets the start? Do you think Dean Wade gets the start? Do you think Porter gets the start? Like, how do you think things shake out for Porter in the Cleveland starting lineup?
I don't have a super strong take on the starting lineup. If I had to guess, it would be Tomlin for me, and I think that's why the ownership's being held down a little bit right now. Is it's hard to find minutes for him here. With Tyson starting and playing so well, he probably has that role locked up. I don't know. Like, he's going to play 30 minutes in this spot, and if Tyson's going to play 30 minutes, it's hard to see Porter playing more than like mid-20s. If you told me Porter was going to play 28 minutes, I'd be very much in. If he's playing 20, 22, it's a little bit harder to get there. He can shoot the ball really well at times and get really hot and score a bunch of points in a small amount of time. But it's a little bit risky for me, I think. There are better plays, in my opinion. Unless he starts, then you feel a lot better about the minutes.
I'm slightly on the other side of the fence here because I think that fifth position is so open. I think it's kind of like a hot hand type of thing. Like, I do think it's Tomlin. If I were to guess too, I think Tomlin starts because they are comfortable using Donovan Mitchell. But I don't think it hurts. It's not just Garland. It's also Lonzo out. So like they're down both their primary ball handlers, sans Mitchell, obviously. And
yeah,
so I do think like all the secondary creation is like, if Porter's playing well, he's going to get all of the secondary creation. And I think that bodes well for him on a team that, I mean, Mitchell played a lot of minutes last night. Mobley played a boatload. I think Mobley played 39 minutes last night. There's also Proctor who, is there as well. But I kind of think in 24 minutes, Craig Porter, he's been 1.1 fantasy point per minute player without Lonzo and Darius Garland and Jared Allen this year. I'd be willing to roll. Like, here's my stance. I'd be more willing, I think, if the ownership stays on Naquan Tomlin, I'd almost be more willing to play Porter in a tournament than Naquan Tomlin. Because I think if Naquan Tomlin is 20x the ownership, I think Porter still is as live as Naquan Tomlin to be in like a closing lineup tonight.
I mean, do people really look at the game logs and be like, I want to play Naquan Tomlin over Craig Porter Jr.?
I mean,
I'm having a hard time buying that.
If he's starting, they'll just click Naquan. Dude, ownership.
Then I would change my tune. If Porter's not getting owned, then that's different. I've got him north of 25% owned right now.
Okay, well then, where you see it, my platform needs an update because I don't have that. I have that 25x less than you, Keith. So just for context,
that's a huge thing, especially like if you're new to DFS. Like, a lot of these things that we talk about, ownership is a major part of the decision. It's a huge piece of the equation.
Yes.
Porter unowned, I don't care if he plays 24 minutes because he can score 20 actual points in way less than that. So I'd be in for sure. If he's owned above 20%, then he kind of has to do that for me to not lose a big portion of my lineup. So ownership's going to be important here. Obviously, we all have our sources that we trust, and we hope that those that we trust are right, and
correct.
That we don't flip over the cards and we expect to see somebody at 20% and they're 1%, or vice versa is the worst case. You think you're playing a guy that's less than 5% owned and he comes in 20%. That kind of ruins your night before it even starts. You
just start looking at the next day, buddy. You just
pretty much.
You start your Tuesday research. Let's go to shooting guard because we spent a lot of time at point guard. But I think point guard's a very
strong position.
Hefty discussion point. Donovan Mitchell's at the top, and then it drops off drastically. How do you feel, basically Keyshawn George and up, about shooting guard here?
I won't steal your thunder on the other obvious name here.
Okay.
I did mention Hero already as a guy that I kind of like. I'm going to mention Benedict Mathurin as well. Honestly, with this version of the team, I thought we were going to see even more usage than we were seeing. Like I thought we would approach 30% here. He's been more 25%, which is not all that dissimilar from what he was last season. I still think the ceiling is there and that he could score 40 actual points in any given game. So as a tournament player, I want some Benny Mathurin.
You know why it's 25%?
Because Pascal Siakam is doing his thing.
Pascal Siakam, but old boy TJ is in there too.
TJ's doing it
running
too.
Around like running around like a dog without a leash, dude. He steals a lot of usage away too. I think Donovan Mitchell looks great in tournaments. Getting decent amount of ownership, super high ceiling. You don't worry about a bad shooting night with Donovan Mitchell because he's so good at basketball. So if you want to play Donovan Mitchell, you can. You talked Hero. Io, we're talking about Craig Porter, not Kevin. We were talking just the thoughts on the Cleveland starting lineup and whatnot. Before we get to Desmond Bane, we had a couple comments here about your volume. I think you sound wonderful, so don't worry about your volume here. I think your volume sounds great. Carson says he will change his name to Brian Scalabrine related if he all his NBA team names. That's wonderful. We talk. Casey's, talking Desmond Bane. We're about to talk about. I'm just kidding. I won't do it. I won't do it. I want people to stay. I don't want people to leave. Jordan saying thank you to both of us. We have made him thousands. That is wonderful news. Awesome. That's amazing to hear. We appreciate the kind words. And Icy Through showing up. Hello all. As always. TJ dribbles too much. He does dribble a lot. He does the nothing like watching TJ dribble baseline, come back around and do that little like 8 to 10 footer fadeaway. It's crazy. 6% on Craig Porter. Yeah, I see it pretty low as well. So we'll see how things change throughout the show. Ownership is very fluid on a bunch of different platforms. I do want to talk Desmond Bane quite a bit. The Bulls have just been unable to stop anyone at the rim. They allow the second most points in the paint in the NBA. Desmond Bane, I was looking at this game log because we were talking about on the pre-show, he made no shots from three and he had 12 free throws. And I was just kind of looking at like, what did Desmond Bane do? Dude, he had 17 drives, which was the most on the Magic. He more than Franz. He averages like 9 per. He had 17 drives. He had 16 points on drives last game. If you're telling me Desmond Bane's going to be that aggressive against the Chicago Bulls, he's going to score 35 again because they do not have any ability to stop anyone at the rim or in the paint. They are pretty good at stopping the three-point volume. They do not have any final line of defense. I think Desmond Bane is going to torture the Bulls in any past. As soon as he gets past the first line of defense, it's cooked. Vooch can't help at the level. Patrick Williams isn't going to play enough. Cooked. I'm all in on Desmond Bane today.
I love it. I did not know that drive stat, which is very impressive. So thank you for bringing the heat to the show. You think of Desmond Bane as a 3-point shooter. So if he's being that aggressive, like you said, it's a different conversation here. And I just talked about how there's a 30% usage guy missing from the lineup. So It's not like there's not shots available. So love that call.
No Kobe White, officially listed out. Alex Sarr to miss the next 2 games per head coach Brian Keefe. 6K range is interesting. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Keyshawn George are probably the 2 that pop for me. No disrespect to Con Knipple. I just like the other 2, I think, a little bit more. What's your take on this 6K range?
I want to hear your take on Keyshawn George. Like, this is a dude who has a massive ceiling, but he also has a really low floor. And I
He
don't know if
does.
you've identified something that has, like, he just decides he's not going to shoot some games. That's what it is. I can see it in the stat line, but I don't know why he makes that decision. If you have any insight there.
I don't, and I think it's just a ceiling play. Now he did have the flu last game, so I'm assuming 6 shots, really just kind of farted around. Had everything to do with the having just being like probably not able to move. Because when I have the flu, my body just hurts and I want to lay around in bed. He's playing a professional basketball game. Um, the numbers do also look worse with Alex Sarr off the floor. It's a ceiling play. I don't love it at the ownership because his ownership has kind of come down a little bit, which is a little bit appealing. But it's just a ceiling play because he has 50 fantasy points. I think the price is really good for the ceiling, but that's truly what it is. There's not a lot of consistency. The usage is okay. The fantasy points per minute are under 1 with Alex Sarr off the floor. It's fine. Like, I just think when you talk about ceiling, he's been an elite playmaker this year. There's been a lot of potential assists for Keyshawn George a lot of the time. So I don't know. It's more of a ceiling play than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I'm still interested in that in tournaments, but the floor is a little scary. We shall see.
Do you know how many 30-point games Nickeil Alexander-Walker had with the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I'm going to say 0.
His last 30-point game before 11-20 was in 2022 with the New Orleans Pelicans. He's had 3 since November 20th. I just wanted to say that. 3 years he has gone without scoring 30 in a game, and he's done it 3 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the man has been shooting the basketball without Trae Young. I pulled that stat for the playbook the other day. He had the second highest usage, right behind Jalen Johnson. Porzingis was in for that game as well. Now we've got Porzingis out. Like, yeah, he should be chucking today.
Under 6,000 we go. Is it Jalen Tyson's world and we're just living in it here, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Yegor Demon taking a ton of shots that weren't really expected. Jalen Tyson just did that as well. And now we have Darius Garland out. He did that next to Darius Garland. So, like, where Damon is getting Porter back, Michael Porter, this is too many Porters on this slate. Tyson is now having Garland go away, who's a 25-ish% usage guy. So there's even more shots available. He's my favorite value play on the slate. I mean, maybe he doesn't shoot it 17 times again or whatever it was, 18.
18, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the path for him to do that is there, and I know he's going to play the minutes. Like, he's playing more than 30 minutes, and he should take somewhere between 15 and 18 shots, I would think.
Agreed completely. Really good value play. Is there anything else even worth mentioning? I don't even know if I have anything else in the playbook here. I don't think I do.
I wouldn't have wrote him up in the playbook either. You mentioned nobody's playing Bulls, and they're down Kobe White. We've seen Kevin Huerter have big games. You talked about Trey Jones a little bit. Ayo Dosunmu, we've talked about a little bit. But, I mean, any of those three I'd be fine with.
Yeah, like last piece in, $300 or $5,400 for Ayo. Like, you just, sure, right? They're low owned. Yeah, we didn't really talk Tyrese Martin. I don't think we need to talk Tyrese Martin unless you have a different in opinion.
Not on this slate. Not with Demon back.
Yeah. Let's go to small forward. Franz Wagner, 8,700. Michael Porter Jr., 84. Kawhi, 78. That is your, like, upper half. Any thought to any of them being priorities? Like, what's your assessment of the top part of the small forward position?
I don't know if any of them are priorities, but I'd be completely fine with any of the three. We've seen bigger ceilings out of MPJ, I would say, than anyone because Kawhi is still a little bit limited. Do we have anything on a for sure minutes restriction there? Like, should be around 28, 30 again?
Yeah, I mean, Tyronn Lue has been talking to the media before games, telling the media, like, yeah, he's still limited. I have not seen anything about it yet. So
Just
we will maybe we will get the Tyronn Lue pregame, but I have not seen it yet.
if we get a Kawhi no restriction, then
Oh,
he's
he's the
way too
best.
cheap.
He's
Yeah.
probably the best. He's probably one of the best plays of the slate
Yes.
per
Yes.
dollar. I mean, dude, I mean,
He's smashing in 28 minutes. When he's full, he plays 35, 36 minutes as an average.
there's his price has gone down
Yeah, like to the point where he's a smash if he plays 35 minutes.
Yeah, pace up spot. He'd be the per dollar, like arguably the best play of the slate, $7,800. And he's still in play. 29 minutes. He's still in play with how good he's been.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Just you could play any of them.
I would say Franz is my least favorite of the three, and he could absolutely go out there and put up 60 fantasy points tonight. Like we saw that so often without Paulo last season, and just have not seen it enough, in my opinion, this season. Maybe that's the Desmond Bain effect, and he's the one being the aggressor on that. Nice call out there from you. Just Franz isn't being aggressive enough, so he'd be third in that range for me.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. Bain for sure. Anthony Black, sleep, how good Jalen Suggs has been. I mean, they're just a good team. Like they've just been a really good team. So yeah, if you could play any of them, I kind of agree. I would probably rank them reverse order. What about this next tier? I don't have a lot of interest in Norm. Miami has like a lot of cooks in the kitchen. If you want to get there, you can. I do have some interest in Miller and Hunter. I think personally, I lean Miller. That might be a little contrarian. Hunter's minutes are always weird on back-to-backs. Always. Like if you look at DeAndre Hunter's minutes on back-to-backs, there's never like that. There's always like one game where he just doesn't play. And then the second one, they're just like, yeah, we'll give him 28 again. What's your take on like Miller, Hunter? Do you have interest in either? Or do you just want to go down the rest of small forward?
I do. I have interest in both. Miller is my preference as well. So maybe not that hot. I know he wasn't great in his last game, but the game before that, he was outstanding.
Right.
He's a guy that can score 40 actual points, and LaMelo's still limited. Now, Khan's been shooting it really well, but if Khan's having an off night, and we know Bridges will shoot too, but Miller, if he's hot, he will absolutely be the guy from a usage standpoint. Like he has no problem taking over that role. So I like the ceiling there for sure.
Yeah, dude, 31% usage this year for Brandon Miller. Yeah. And that was his first back-to-back since returning from injury. Like it's okay. You know who the only team worse at defending the 3-point line is Charlotte. His own team is last. Brooklyn's 29th. Brandon Miller's taking a lot of threes since he's returned. And he's an elite 3-point shooter. So this is like a super high ceiling 3-point volume spot for him. So you like Hunter as well at 63.
I like Hunter as well. I think Miller has the higher ceiling. We've also seen Hunter take over from a usage standpoint as well. I just think Miller's more likely to do it.
Agreed. And I think safer minutes. I would project Miller to play more as well.
Yep.
What else do we like here at small forward, if anything? I mean, I don't have anything in the 5K range that I care for.
Nor do I. And honestly, we've talked about, I think, everything else at the position already when we covered shooting guard. But if you have anything else at small forward.
I'll throw out like a few names. Zachary Richer should once again play a lot. Last night was miserable. I had him at like no ownership. He was one of the reasons I probably didn't win the tournament last night. 30 minutes, was just in foul trouble the whole entire night and did basically nothing else but score. But he does have a ceiling at $4,700 with the minutes trending in the right direction. No Porzingis, no Trae Young. He's been about a fantasy point per minute, 20% usage guy. So I don't hate it. That doesn't look much different than Jalen Tyson, who's getting, 20% or 20x ownership than him. You can play Naquan Tomlin here at small forward as well. So that's something to note, $4,400. But that's honestly it. There's like nothing else that really needs much of a discussion. We'll go to power forward, but before we do, appreciate everyone tuning in. There's 375 of you. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you all in the chat. And all, even if you don't leave comments, I see Coach Chris in here. He has a lot of Joe Hayden and Kawhi Leonard playing tonight. I know Harden, not Joe Hayden. I know. Fizzy just said Craig. That could be, he could have said it in like, I think when I hear Craig, I think of Friday, like Craig. Yeah. That's usually like the voice I think of.
Yeah. Who wants some Debo?
Yeah. We'll get to center here in a little bit. And no, I'm going to
Maybe it's our world. Just real quick on Craig Porter Jr. Maybe it's our world, but just the amount of comments already that have come in on Craig Porter Jr. People want to play Craig Porter Jr. I'll be shocked if he's under 20%.
I mean, he's a good fantasy player.
Right. And we've seen this situation before and him absolutely go nuclear. Like 40 fantasy points. So people want to play that.
I think that just happened like last week.
It's happened this year.
Yeah,
and it definitely happened last year.
First time catching live, everyday listener in the morning show, life of you. Thank you for supporting. We appreciate your support greatly. And then Dominic, it's 9 games over on FanDuel, which I broke down on the Fantasy Alarm website, fantasyalarm.com. You can check out the NBA DFS playbook. We do have our Cyber Monday sale going right now that if you log in the site, you'll get the pop-up, and it's a great deal going on right now. Let me check the deal, because I don't want to misspeak here and just like disrespect the sale. 50% off Cyber Week sale.
Big number.
Locked in until 2027 using code CM50. That's ridiculous. I'm pissed. I got to talk to Mpemba about this nonsense, huh?
You worked too hard for us to give it away,
right? Let's go to power forward.
For sure.
John, I blame John for this, No wonder. He hit his head and then decided to put out a 50% sale, 50% on site right now, 50% off of the All-Pro package. You get this, you get the NFL package, baseball when it comes back. You'll see Keith and I doing baseball, John, the whole 9. But we appreciate all the support. You guys are great. Let's go to power forward, where it's another really top-heavy position. There's some good value too, but I think there's a lot to like at the top. We have Giannis at 11.5. Can that game stay competitive is the obvious question here. Jalen Johnson, 10K. Does he have working legs after playing 45 minutes last night in double overtime game? Pascal at 88 looks really good. Mobley, shorthanded against Indiana, looks really good. We know Bridges can explode on the court. What say you about the top half of power forward here?
It's absolutely loaded. Like you said, it's point guard light. It's a little bit less than point guard, but still an absolutely loaded position. Giannis was destroying the Nets before that game got out of hand, and he left with 5 minutes left in the third quarter and didn't return for the game. He was on his way to an absolute nuke. Like he was going to crush. Jalen Johnson did nuke his last time out. Evan Mobley did nuke his last time out.
Yep.
Pascal Siakam has been regularly up over 45 fantasy points every game. So the top 4, I can't say a bad word about any of them. Mobley's the cheapest. I think Giannis is in the best spot, but I am concerned about the blowout. Washington is like the absolute best matchup in all of basketball. They play fast. They're the worst defense in the league. Like if he can find 30 minutes here, he's going to put up 70 fantasy points at least. I'm not sure that he can find 30 minutes is my only concern.
Keith, I played him here.
I know you're going right back.
I played him in the Brooklyn game. I could not live with myself if I don't double down and don't play him in like an even equally good spot and he plays 34 minutes. I would not be able to live with myself. There's
I
no
hear
resist.
I hear you, and I'm not trying to talk you out of it. Alex Sarr getting ruled out is like the worst thing that could have happened to you.
It's the worst.
Because who the hell
It's
is
the
going to
worst.
stop Giannis
Dude,
now?
it really is. It's such a good point. I wrote that in the playbook. Like Tristan Vukcevic and Marvin Bagley are your two rim stuffers. That is free. That is free range right to the rim. Do you guys who needs a basket? Please come here. I get it. It is a 10-point spread. You and I are kings of, try not to predict blowout, but I get it. I do. I fully understand. I think
Giannis scores the most points in the paint in the league by a mile, and they do not have a single rim protector. Like, come on, those two guys don't have a prayer of stopping Giannis. But he could have 40 points by halftime. I wouldn't put that past him.
Actual
40 actual by half.
Coming off the post-game interview where he said one day we're going to look back and he's going to be a top 10 scorer of all time. So he said. Now his words, not mine. Yeah. I didn't say it. I mean, I'm also not disputing it. I'm just his words, not mine. His ownership is being steamed, by the way. It's steadily rising from what it was earlier in the day. So maybe people believe that this game will stay competitive. I'm going to ask you to do the impossible here. How would you rank if we're excluding Giannis because he's kind of just in a tier by himself, I would say, how would you rank the next set of power forwards?
Yeah, I mean, on a normal night, I would say Jalen Johnson is next because of what that man is doing. Yeah. He's got a couple things working against him that I can't really look past today. And I'm not saying exclude him from your lineups, but he's got a really tough matchup against Detroit, and he just played 45 minutes. Both of those things are pretty concerning to me. I wouldn't put him past him to go out and score 70 fantasy points again. But because he has those things, and Mobley's in a fantastic spot, and Siakam's on the other side in that awesome game environment, I'm going Mobley's first for sure. Yep. He has absolutely crushed. 14 rebounds in each of the last two games, over 20 points in each of the last two games. Mobley's playing awesome. He's too cheap. He's in an awesome game environment. He also has one of the best possible matchups for center, which is the position that he's playing today with Jared Allen out. I think Mobley has a massive ceiling. He's per dollar my favorite play at the position. And then Siakam's been just great all season. So Johnson and Siakam are close, but the context around Johnson today is a little concerning. And my guy Yappy in the chat did ask a question about that. So you touched on it a little bit earlier, that double overtime game, back to back, like absolutely some concern here for Hawks.
Yeah, I thought this was Steve Smith, the wide receiver, but it
could be. To be fair, I only know him through Discord. I've never seen an actual picture of Yappy.
Okay. Well, then we're just going to be under the assumption this is the former Panthers wide receiver. Welcome, Steve Smith, the wide receiver. Welcome. Let's go to the rest of power forward. Another position where I just kind of don't like Wiggins, Buzelis, Jaquez. Nothing there really sticks out. What do you make of the Noah Clowney ownership tonight? Because I find this one to be a little bit interesting. He obviously has played extremely well with and without Michael Porter. What is your take on Noah Clowney getting the ownership that he's getting?
From Michigan's name, I'm losing it right now. Like, what is going on there? First of all, is my question.
The dude from Michigan,
the center who just played. Danny Wolf.
Danny Wolf.
Like,
sorry, I was thinking Luka Garza, ex-player of the year. I thought you were looking for like a deep dive. Sorry, Danny Wolf. Yes.
Yeah. No, just the reason that Clowney might have gotten just pushed off the court, basically, because he was playing awesome. You're exactly right. I had a ton of Clowney in that game where Danny Wolf just absolutely went off. I don't know. It's hard to trust the minutes at this point. It's things that we've seen Brooklyn do way too many times to us in the past is my biggest concern. they'll play a guy 30 minutes for 3 games in a row, and then he'll play 12 minutes the next game. So I'm highly concerned for the minutes here for Noah Clowney. If I knew I was getting the 37 minutes he averaged for 3 games in a row, sure, I'd be all about some Noah Clowney, but I don't know what happened to the rotation.
So I will feed the rotational tidbits here. He had 4 first half fouls, and then they were blown out, and then they got blown out, and then he never came back. And then Danny Wolf, 7-foot point guard, did what he did.
7-foot point guard. Don't they get blown out every game though? It's part of the concern. And he was a lot of those. It is Charlotte. That's a good point. But he was playing 37 minutes in games that weren't all that close before. So I don't know that I buy the blowout angle completely. Okay. No, it was much more than a 15-point blowout. It was significant enough that Giannis got pulled in the third quarter and didn't play.
Yes. I do think the foul trouble played a part, and then them just playing the bench unit on the second leg of a back-to-back was just like Jordi Fernandez does things. Like you said, he does do this stuff. I feel pretty confident in the minutes here for Clowney, but Danny Wolf is definitely breathing down his neck a little bit. Because Brooklyn's they've drafted 5 guys in the first round. They eventually are going to have to start playing them more, right? Like Yegor is the only one that has truly gotten a lot of time. Drake Powell has gotten some time as well. I don't think he left. I think he was playing. I think the hip injury came out after. I think he had 4 first half fouls in that game.
Yeah, I didn't realize the foul trouble. That's a good point. Like he definitely lost significant minutes in the first half when the game was close, if that is the case.
We can honestly, just to ensure our the popcorn machine will tell us all.
Yeah, he played a lot in the first half.
He did play a lot in the first half.
I just pulled it up. Yeah.
But he played through. Let's see. He played through. Am I clicking the wrong one? He played through 1, 2. I mean, he had 4 first half fouls. I don't know what they were thinking playing him in the.
Yeah. Well, they yanked the entire first unit 1 minute and 30 seconds into the second half.
Yes, there you go. He played. He never played again.
Yeah.
Okay, solid. Hell yeah. So I think Noah Clowney's minutes are. How would you project them?
I think Danny Wolf played really well, and like you said, they invested a first-round pick. Like, I don't know what Clowney's contract situation is, but as far as who's the long-term piece, and I don't know how comfortable they are playing Claxton at the 4. I assume that's what they would do. No,
I don't think they could. No. I mean, Wolf is like a fascinating player because he like literally was playing point guard at college, which is.
You think they'd play Wolf at the 4?
I think Wolf is like a weirdly positioned person because he's very abnormal for his size.
Interesting conversation. I don't know that you need to risk it on this slate, to be honest.
He's the 3rd highest rostered power forward of the day. You're saying that you would be under the field.
Yeah, way under.
Okay.
Like half of that.
What else is there to talk about here? I've been kind of weirded out by the John Collins ownership all day. I'm personally I don't know where you stand on John Collins and the season that John Collins has had, but it has not gone well for him. Tobias Harris is there at the same price, safe, reliable, minutes trending up in the right direction. We have Chris Middleton. We have Jay Huff. Like, what say you about the rest of this power forward position?
I don't think I can do John Collins with Kawhi Leonard back. I know he's been playing a lot. He hasn't been great. I don't know. I
mean, he was crazy efficient for like the first time all year. Where did the rebounds go? Zubats just owns them. The peripheral stats are like non-existent a lot. This is a different version of John Collins than we've basically seen in every other stop.
Right. And for that reason, I'd pivot to Jay Huff. Like, that role is real. He's been starting at center. He's leading the league in blocks per game, and he's rebounding, which is what Indiana cannot do. And he's scoring too.
Have you seen the J Huff block compilation?
I have not seen it. I'll
He
have to look it
he
up.
he
It's
yells
good.
he yells F no after every block. It's amazing.
That
It's
is
it's
amazing. I got to go find
Dude,
that.
it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. 2 minutes worth watching. Let's go to center. Speaking of center, we'll go to center where J Huff does reside as well. Zubats 8K, Duran 79. He was seen as shoot around, expected to play. Vooch at 78, Bam 75, Okongwu 74, no Porzingis. Is there anything there worth talking about to you? Because this is obviously a clear value spot that um, everyone's just taking advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, you can play two is the thing. So I will have some exposure to Zubac just because of the ceiling. He's shown an awesome ceiling. If nobody's playing Bam, I mean, he hasn't shown much ceiling, but a guy that's going to be 5% owned, I have some interest there. I think Claxton is playable in a great matchup with Charlotte. I play Huff at power forward for sure because obviously everybody's playing the Detroit guys.
Everyone's playing the Washington.
Washington
Yes.
guys. Thank you.
Also, just posted for anyone interested, just posted the J Hub compilation in chats for all those that are looking. Is James Harden out? I mean, he might be out like getting dinner before the game. He might, but no, he is. He is. Last I checked, he is playing. Jalen Duren no longer on the injury report, so he should be good here. Let's just get to how do you see the 48-minute split playing out here, Keith? Because I find it interesting. I think Bagley starts, but he was healthy scratch last game, and Vukcevic played over him behind Alex Sarr. What do you think? How do you think the minutes play out? Like if you were breaking down how like 48 center minutes play out for Washington.
I think that Bagley starts and they lean towards Bagley. We saw that a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago even. He played like 30 minutes from the starter's position. Don't count on that. Like that is something that we've seen happen before, and then the next day he's out of the rotation. Literally a healthy scratch. So it's hard. It's a hard situation to predict. And how I play this in tournaments, because both of these guys are huge per minute producers, I will generally play both of them way above the field, but not in the same lineup together. So basically I end up with one of them in every lineup that I play. This is not like the guards situation where you need a guy to go out and score a bunch of points in 20 minutes. This is, if Bagley plays 25 minutes, he's going to have probably more than 25 fantasy points. Same can be said about Vukcevic. Like they're better than a fantasy point per minute. All you need is the minutes. If Bagley gets in foul trouble, if Bagley starts and has 3 first half fouls, maybe he plays 12 minutes and Vukcevic plays 32, and then he's just an absolute smash. But way over the field on both is how I'm playing it.
Yeah, and I think it's an excellent distinction. You just cannot play them both. It
Correct.
Can't.
So the scenario you would be playing for there is a 24-minute split, just right down the middle, and they both go for 25 fantasy points, and somehow they both end up in the winning lineup. But it's highly unlikely that one of the other centers doesn't outscore that performance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with the field. Like I obviously lean Bagley, but there's obviously we've had a couple of Vukcevic comments in the chat. Like he is a good fantasy player, just period. Yep. He is. That Bagley's actually been better this year. 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Vukcevic is like right at 1, but I lean Marvin Bagley as well. Anything else that we like need to talk about? Like I like some of this other stuff earlier in the day. Like I liked Wendell Carter at 5,500, but it's just hard to get to Wendell Carter now that we have the Washington stuff. I liked that Diabate's price came down to 42, but now we have the Washington stuff. I even liked Isaiah Jackson as kind of like a pivot off of presumed Jay Huff chalk that kind of went away. But now there's the Washington stuff. So like all of it you can do, but do you have any strong inklings to play any of it?
Not really, no. Like the Wendell Carter smashes the Bulls narrative has kind of gone by the wayside. He hasn't been great in a couple games there. He has shown a little ceiling
He
this season,
has.
but like you said, there's two really great plays that I need a ton of. How much really do I have to maneuver with the rest? Duren is a guy who's had a massive ceiling this season, a guy that I would normally be all over on this type of slate at low ownership. I don't know. Like cheap center is the one thing that you can't fade in NBA DFS, basically. Like
Yep.
one of those centers is smashing, and I'm going to have a ton of them. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's going to be one of them. So that doesn't leave us a lot to do with the rest of the position.
It really could just end up being like you're not playing them both, but they could both smash. They're so free. They're both just incredibly cheap. So they're both also incredibly higher owned than every other center on the board. So they're 2x and 3x higher than anyone else. So
well, that's why you can find a Jalen Duren at 5% ownership.
Yep.
Who could absolutely go for 50 fantasy points at that.
Giannis available. Trent available, Gary Harris out. Not that matters much. We'll answer this question here, Keith, and then we'll build a core and we'll get out of here since we both have lineups to build. Jay Huff or Chris Middleton for cash from Mental Hospital. What do you got?
Jay Huff by a mile for me.
Jay Huff by a mile. I agree. And we know what we'll answer. Andrew's always in the chat. Which one for FanDuel between the Washington centers? I don't know if you've looked at FanDuel at all today. I have Bagley at 4K. Oh, it's Bagley. Vucevic is more expensive than Bagley. So if in that scenario that Bagley's starting, you're just playing Bagley. It's only $100 difference, but like, who's the highest owned center on FanDuel? John Collins.
Whoa, more than Bagley?
Yeah, he has multi-position eligibility, 5,100.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because I agree. Like you're plugging Bagley in. Like if we're talking single entry cash type lineup, like absolutely, it's Bagley, assuming he starts.
All right, last question because we share a name, so I have to go to him. Kawhi Harden, Mitchell Mobley, or Durant Thompson. We're just stacking teams here. Which is your favorite stack of that group?
Give me the Cavs there. Mitchell Mobley.
Agreed. Give me Mitchell Mobley as well. All right, let's get a core built. Let's get out of here. We're going to go bags. Obviously, we're going to go bags. Who else was a must play for you on the old DK platform?
There's a couple guys. The first one I'm going to throw out there is Tyson. I just think he's the best, safest value play. And then
small forward or shooting guard?
Probably small forward for me. Definitely small forward because I have a feeling who you're going to want to throw out there.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Who's your spend up?
Evan Mobley.
Okay, I like it. And then we have Jaeger as a value. We can double up Orlando, play Suggs. We could also go up to Harden possibly. Let's do that. Let's do Harden. We'll leave the people. We'll build the rest of the lineup in the Discord. Harden, Bane, Tyson, Mobley, Bagley. $5,200 guard forward util. The rest of the lineup will be placed in the Fantasy Alarm Discord, which you can find in the description of the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Please, again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, there's a 50% that we're going to have to talk to HR about. There's a 50% off sale over at the Fantasy Alarm website right now, fantasyalarm.com. Code CM50, which is criminal. Capella over both Wizards. No, I'd go over both Wizards over Capella. I know Steven Adams is out, but I'd go both Wizards. But Capella's a good GPP play over on FanDuel as well. Big shout out to Keith for coming on the show today. You'll actually catch me and Keith on the pre-show tonight for tomorrow's slate as well. Big ups to everyone watching. We'll catch you tomorrow.